unquote border czar. Vice President Harris was not a border czar.
Meantime, Vice President and border czar Kamala Harris facing some backlash.
What he said about Harris and immigration was not true. She was never appointed border czar.
And this will be her first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border region since she was appointed as the border czar by President Biden.
People are going to have to counter the misinformation. You already hear folks talking about the border czar. She wasn't the border czar.
President Biden tapped Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, to be the border czar.
Now, she wasn't the border czar. That's what Republicans labeled her.
They were very critical of Kamala Harris, especially in her role as border czar.
Now what she's up against is folks lying about her border record, calling her a border czar.
Kamala Harris, who was appointed as the border czar.
The Biden team didn't declare her the border czar. They wanted her to work on kind of the root causes of immigration.
There has been so much criticism against Kamala Harris. You know, she was the border czar.
Calling her sort of the border czar, which wasn't necessarily the case.
So the border, if they weren't planning to address it in a major way, do not make her your border czar. She met with some of the Northern Triangle countries, but nothing has effectively changed.
And finally, we have our boy.
She was never assigned the position of border czar. They're making that up.
That's their playbook, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Americans. That is the anti-American woke mafia left. That is their plan. That is their playbook. And the sad part is, so many people are going to believe this. They don't want you to see that. Courtesy that video, that montage, Charlie Kirk, that is an amazing montage of the absolute facade, the lies that are perpetuated by mainstream media to fit the narrative. So if they're lying about that right to your face, these are the same reporters, by the way, the same exact reporters who said she was the border czar, you saw that, are now saying that she isn't because the border is what? An absolute calamitous disaster of epic proportions. What else are they lying to you about? Well, I don't know about you, but every single time I watch ABC, Lester Holt, NBC, CBS, what have you, CNN, they're always bad-mouthing Trump, calling him this, calling him that, a felon, a criminal. He's going to create havoc. He's going to be a dictator. He's Hitler. So you have to, again, this is critical discernment. This is critical thinking. You have to strengthen your critical discernment muscles because this is going to ratchet up the closer we get to the election. Now, live breaking news. I just had to share that with you because they're just lying with zero impunity. They don't care at all what, you prove them wrong or you show them that, look, you said this only 6 months ago, only 3 years ago, only 2 days ago. They don't care. But the breaking news today is this.
If all members voted, any member wants to change their vote.
This is live breaking news. The House has just voted 220 to 196 to condemn Kamala Harris's open border policy as the border czar, which is unequivocal. She was definitely appointed. Here's more proof that she was appointed the border czar, which mainstream media doesn't want you to believe this. Here is an actual House resolution, March 24, 2023, in the House of Representatives, expressing the sense that Vice President Kamala Harris should be removed from her position as the head of the Biden administration strategy to address the root cause of migration. The 118th Congress first session. You can see right down here, March 24th, 2021, Vice President Kamala Harris was named the border czar. This is an actual congressional document in charge of leading efforts to stem migration across the United States-Mexico border. Here is Joe Biden back in 2021 appointing Kamala.
I've asked her, the VP, today, because she's the most qualified person to do it, to lead our efforts with Mexico and the Northern Triangle and the countries that help us. We're going to need help in stemming the movement of so many folks, stemming the migration to our southern border.
Whatever the hell that means. Here's more proofs back in March of 2024, 2021. This is then Vice President Kamala Harris posting this on Twitter. POTUS asked me to lead our diplomatic work with Mexico, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras to address the situation at the southern border. By the way, this House condemning, and I'm going to talk to you about what the implications of that is. Does it even mean anything? What is the ramifications? Is there any actionable steps moving forward? 6 Democrats joined with Republicans in support of this condemnation of border czar Kamala Harris. 6 Democrats. I mean, that's pretty good. You don't see that kind of bipartisan for Republican bills or Republican legislation. This is really, really pronounced and symbolic. So I know what some of you guys might be thinking. You might be thinking, this doesn't mean anything. So what? They passed this condemnation. We all know that the border is an absolute catastrophe. We know that there's absolutely zero border, that Biden revoked the border wall. Harris hasn't even visited the border. There's interviews with the Border Patrol Union president, interviews with the leader of ICE, the head of ICE. They've never even talked to the so-called border czar. And now they want to lie because they're all a bunch of LADs, a bunch of lying-ass dogs. Well, let's talk about this. So the implication of the House's vote to condemn Vice President Harris is that it serves as a symbolic rebuke of her handling of immigration issues at the U.S.-Mexico border. This resolution, which again passed 2020 to 196 with 6 Democrats, is a non-binding measure. It doesn't hold any legislative authority or action. It's primarily a powerful message. And the fact that it has a pretty significant amount of bipartisan support, it speaks volumes. Now, what the resolution accuses Harris of is of failing to secure the southern border and of being essentially a, quote, failed border czar. So this isn't any kind of actionable bill. It's not anything that's going to reprimand her or harm her or impede her ability to run for president. But what this does is it provides a lot more ammunition going into election season, ad season, advocation, policies. It gives more weight and more weapons for Trump to use this against her, especially since she's the Democratic nominee and 6 Democrats joined Republicans in backing the bill. What happens next is largely going to be political and strategic. What the Democrats have been trying to do literally since they executed that coup against Joe Biden, that speech last night was an absolute farce. What they've been trying to do is they've been trying to remove Harris, and doing it through a very detailed, methodical propagandist machine, through the media, through mainstream media, through all sorts of avenues, highways, and byways. They've been trying to remove Harris from the border catastrophe and saying she wasn't the border czar, which you saw all those videos proving she actually was. So this is about public perception. This is about the election. This is about advocating that, look, if you vote for Harris, you're literally voting for Biden 2.0. She is the most far-leaning left liberal senator, and she literally is going to do 10 times worse than what Biden has done. Even though this bill does not have a direct impact on Kamala's vying for the presidency, it definitely does, stir up and conjure up a ton of questions that she needs to answer for the American public. Hey, Kamala, you were the border czar. President Biden had enough confidence in you to appoint you the border czar and appoint you in control and helping stem, I don't even know what he was saying in that video, I don't think he does either, the flow of illegal migrants. Why is it that we've had literally the worst recorded immigration migrant invasion in the history of our country under your watch? Those are questions that she needs to answer. Those are questions that she needs to answer for her constituents, for her base, for the people voting for her, even though I don't think it's going to matter. I don't know how you could vote for this woman who is the epitome of a DEI failure hire. She didn't earn one vote. She didn't earn one primary. She literally conducted and executed a coup against President Biden. And this is the party that says democracy is on the ballot. They are literally engaging in anti-democratic methodologies, literally.
If I had to pick someone once Biden stepped, I would probably pick Harris to run against. I think that she's been, her tenure as VP has been disastrous. She was put in charge of the border. The media was running with that in 21. Harris will be the oversee border. Now they're saying, oh no, she wasn't overseeing border. And these are the same reporters who wrote 4 years ago are now writing the opposite. They're running interference for her because of all the failures. That border ranks near the top of the failures of the Biden-Harris administration. And so she was there. If you go back and watch her statements for when she was running for president in the 2020 cycle, I mean, she basically said, have an open border. She wants taxpayer-funded health care and benefits for illegal aliens. She doesn't think you should deport somebody that's come. So she is, as bad as Biden's been on that, she's even more liberal on that.
Here's one of my favorite pistols, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think she's got more balls than 90% of the men in our elected legislature. Listen to what she says about Kamala.
Since being appointed by border czar by President Joe Biden, Kamala Harris has undoubtedly been a complete failure in her job and has destroyed our country by releasing a record-setting levels of criminals, rapists, and terrorists into our communities. Despite the attempts of the fake news media to whitewash her appointment as border czar, as Axios correctly reported, and they're now lying and say they never did, she was in fact labeled a border czar by nearly every major news outlet across the country. Border czar Kamala Harris said, "Do not come," yet proudly welcomed 11.5 million illegals from over 160 countries, including over 2 million known gotaways who completely evaded U.S. authorities. She stood by and allowed these people to come in and idly watched our children and women being raped by illegal alien criminals. She's not just allowing them to come. The policies of the administration allow the CBP One app to import over 400,000 illegals into American communities. Under her watch as border czar, this has happened.
And watch what's going to happen. Even though everything that DeSantis, everything Marjorie Taylor Greene, we've completely smoked out the lies of mainstream media, woke mafia media. She's going to deny this up and down. She's going to deny this at the debates. She's going to deny she had anything to do with it. And she's going to lie bold-faced to the American public. And the tragic thing is, there's going to be a lot of Americans who believe her. Why? Because for some reason, they think Trump is mean. For some reason, they think Trump is not presidential. For some reason, they want these fake, rigid, unrelatable, inauthentic politicians, the swamp, the vermin, to continue their hold, their grip on the American political system. It makes no absolute sense. Don't you want to prosper America? Don't you want to be able to afford gas, afford groceries, be able to invest, maybe even buy a home, dare I say? Don't you want to save on your energy bill? Don't you want a secure border? People call me a right-wing extremist. I call myself an American. I'm a practical American. I just want my family to feel safe. I want to be able to afford things. I want to be able to invest. I want to be able to live comfortably. I want to live without the fear of walking down the street and being robbed, maimed, raped, murdered by some illegal migrant. Is that right-wing extremism? This is the most consequential election of our lifetimes, my fellow Americans. Please tap this thumbs up on this video. Tap the thumbs up, because what happens is, it's not for me. This is for our country. It signals the algorithm to push this video to more people. An educated citizenry makes educated decisions. When they make educated, informed decisions, it benefits you, it benefits me, it benefits all Americans. So please do that. Share this with everybody you know. They don't want you to see this video. As a matter of fact, this video might get taken down before too long, because this is the truth about Kamala Harris, about Biden, about the anti-American woke mafia Obama-Clinton consortium. I beg of you, I beseech you, share, tap with everybody you know. I can't wait to hear your comments on this. Let me know in the comments down below. If you made it this far, in the pinned comment, in the show notes and description is our free newsletter. Become a Nez Nation Insider so you never miss out on all the greatest live breaking news that mainstream woke media won't share with you right to your inbox. That's down below. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here. Subscribe, follow, and as always, God bless you, and may God bless America. I'll see you soon.